Iceberg Simpson. Iceberg Simpson. Iceberg Simpson. Butt naked sipping drink in my summer. Only fuck with hoes who rock Dolce and Gabbana. What? Dolce and Gabbana. Dolce and Gabbana. Only fuck with hoes who rock Dolce and Gabbana. Seven butt naked sipping drink in my summer. Only fuck with hoes who rock Dolce and Gabbana. Dolce and Gabbana. Dolce and Gabbana. Only fuck with hoes who rock Dolce and Gabbana. I'ma stay with shade. Fendi on my brain.
All right.
Gotta stay paid.
What up, freaks? How's it going? It's another episode of the Modern Maverick podcast, episode number 10.
We're in the double digits, people.
Number 10.
So we're celebrating with Paps.
Who would have thought? Cheers.
Cheers. Here's to 10.
10 episodes already. Wow. It's gone fast, I guess. I wasn't really counting when I started this. I just, started this for fun and whatever. And we're already at 10 episodes.
It's already been 10 weekends that have gone by. 2.5 freaking months plus because we've had some off weeks.
Off weekends.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit more longer than that, but yeah.
Like 3 months.
10. Yeah, about episode number 10. So hopefully one day we'll get to episode. What's the next? The next is 100. That's
before that landmark, I don't know, maybe 25, 50? Maybe 50. I think 50 is worth acknowledging before we get to 100.
50. 100 is in a...
100, that's in a while. It's going to be in a couple of years.
Yeah.
We might be big and famous by then.
Big and famous.
Or not. Or just big and fat.
Big and fat. That would be better. Fat and famous.
Fat and famous. I'll take that.
Who cares?
Yeah.
So it's another episode of the Modern Maverick podcast. Beautiful Saturday today. Okay. And just came back from training from the beautiful Sherbatov MMA, which I constantly rep on my podcast. And that's it. So yeah, welcome to another episode. So what's up with you?
Same old. Busy week at work, getting ready for our hockey pool draft, off-season draft in our keeper league tonight. So that's taken up a lot of my time after hours. After work, studying, doing my research, doing my scouting.
Yeah, it's I've tried to find some times for it, but it's really hard. On my lunch hour at work, I try to go online. And
that's happened. It's been a little quiet at work, so I can do a little bit of research. And between that and Grand Theft Auto,
holy shit, man!
Is that game awesome or what?
It is awesome.
Fuck, it's fun.
It's funny because every night I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna play for 30 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And then 2.5 hours later, I'm murdering strippers and hookers.
I know. I'm like that 15-year-old with ADD who first played GTA 3 where fuck the missions. All you want to do is go on rampages and run people over and escape the cops for 45 minutes.
No, I don't do that, actually. I'm all about the missions all the time.
I've been good with the missions, but every once in a while I get sidetracked. It's fun, though, because the cops in this one, you can actually, if you can get around a corner without them following you, if you check in your rear view and they don't see you, if you can turn off into another street and then just hide in an alley or something, they'll go right by you, which is great because in the old ones, they always managed to find you, even though you were hiding.
I like how in this one, you can lose them, and then after that, there's They still search for you.
And they'll drive around the area.
And if you drive into their radar area,
boom,
then it'll go back on you. So I love, this is definitely the best, obviously. Best but the way the game is set up, there's so many little subtle things that make the game way, way better.
Yeah, and I think a lot has to do with the fact that you've got 3 characters and how their stories intertwine. It's great.
That, but there's also I can't think about one, but when I'm playing it, I'm like, oh, this is nice, I don't have to do this or I don't have to in the old one. I can't think about.
Saving, get the quick saves in the missions. You when you do your retry, you'll continue from where you last left off within the mission, so you don't have to start again from the beginning if there's, Yeah,
because in the old one you'd have to reload and then start from the beginning, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. So. Come on, man. Those 12 freaking drug dealers were so hard to take down with their M16s.
I find the gameplay is easier. It's smoother.
Yep.
And the shooting is definitely a lot better.
I suck at shooting. Better.
The driving is way better.
Way better. Even driving have you driven a plane yet? Have you flown a plane?
Man, yeah.
Flying a plane's a little bit easier too. And you can just hijack a plane. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Helicopter I haven't tried yet. Those were always tricky.
I did a mission last night or the night before where you needed to drive an helicopter.
Should be coming up.
I got it last Friday, and I've played about, I'd say between 16 and 20 hours.
It's pretty good.
I'm 20% done.
It's pretty good.
So
20% already, eh?
Yeah. But like I said, I don't wait. I've wasted no time. It's mission after mission after mission.
Yeah, I'm not too far. Yeah, I'm not too far. I must be about 15, 16%, I think now.
And I also there's all those side missions as well. You remember in the old ones you could do, but in this one there's a lot more.
Yeah, and they generate like randomly the freaks and geeks there with the little question mark you get. Yeah, depending what time of day it is, I guess, or depending what character you are, you get different missions. Yeah, it's an awesome game. Not that we need to promote it because it's already made $1 billion. $1
billion in 3 days.
Insane.
Is that retarded? Did we spoke about it last week? How we made $800 million in 1 day.
In one. Yep.
And then 3 days sales of $1 billion. It'll probably go down as the best selling.
Yeah, and you think that one will drop to like $30 as like our greatest hits like after 2 months? I have my doubts because they say once they sell a certain amount, it automatically.
It's normally 1 million. If they sell 1 million copies, they've passed 1 million copies.
They've already passed them, so there's no way it's dropping down to. Somebody was trying to convince me that. I'm like, give me a fucking break. That game isn't going to drop in price for at least a year.
At least. I'm wondering because now with the PS4 coming out, it's coming out this year or the end of the year?
Yeah, PS4 is coming out this year, yeah. A couple months.
Are they going to have GTA 5 on the PS4?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. I was wondering that myself the other day. I don't think so. I think it's Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed, I think, is one of the first games that's coming out on PS3 and PS4.
So, because they have to have like a marquee game for the PS4, you know?
Yeah, well, that's it. Apart from the Sony games, the ones that are made by Sony.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll get, trying to think off the top of my head, what was the one there, the shooter game with the skulls of Resistance, Fallen Man, that was a Sony game. I know that was like one of the launch titles with the PS3.
I remember when the PS3 came out, there was, all those games that were similar to the PS2, I think. Actually, you know what? No, wait a minute. I remember when the PS2 came out. I used to work for Sony when the PS2 came out. It was $4.99 for the PS2 when it came out. No. We sold, and the stores would only sell them as bundles, so you'd have to buy, because they were very limited, and it was like a $800 bundle. You ended up with a few games and stuff.
Okay.
Oh man, I remember we used to get 2 or 3 at a time, and they'd be like sold out like same day. We had a waiting list of people that we could call and stuff. I remember when the PS3 came out. What year did the PS3 came out?
PS3, I think it was 8. Was it 8 years ago? 10 years ago now?
Already?
Yeah. Hold on. Let's Wikipedia it and find out.
PS3. You think? I think it's more like.
What's
2006.
2006, you say? Well, that would be 7 years. Okay, I'm going to say 2005. I think it was 2005.
I don't realize you're right. We're in 2013.
Time flies, man.
Fuck, man. Jesus.
There we go. 2006, you win.
Jesus.
You win, sir.
Does it say what, like, the first game or?
The first game units sold 75 million. They've sold 75 million.
They've sold 75 million
PS3s.
PS3s. That's it? No, well, that's it. That's a lot, I guess.
That's a lot. That's a lot of consoles.
75 million.
Oh, as of 2013, March, 78 million. That's an estimate, folks. Let's see. As of the launch, man, they were selling that shit for up to $800, eh?
Yeah, I remember.
Fuck, that was expensive. Games. Here we go. It launched with Resistance Fallen Man. Boom, I got that one before. Yeah. The Elder Scrolls 4, that launched out in 2007. It got delayed. Yeah. See, Resistance Fallen Man was the top-selling game at the launch after 1 week. And then name a bunch of other games that came out shortly afterwards. But yeah, that was your big... and then it was, remember Gran Turismo Prologue? They teased us for like 2 years with like a mini game before the actual game came out.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
But I remember when the PS3 came out, Gran Turismo was like the game that came out with it.
Yeah, PS2. PS2 when the PS2 came out.
Yeah,
and that was incredible
that's right.
also.
Yeah.
That's when I went out and I bought like the $200 fucking steering wheel. That's got like, it still works though with the PS3. That thing was so worth it. Yeah. That was actually worth $200. That thing is.
And it works well?
It's amazing. Wow. It actually had my dad into video gaming.
Jesus.
Like you can turn the wheel like 720 degrees either way. It's got force feedback and shit. It's got the pedals with the clutch pedal. Just don't have the actual shifter for the clutch. But man, it's when you combine it with PS4 with the PS4 GTA game, man. Like PS3, really? I should say. GTA 4, GTA, GT. It's getting confusing. But I've actually read articles that Gran Turismo is so precise as far as a simulator is concerned that there are people who it's used as an actual driving simulator for people taking courses for racing or whatever the case may be.
Well, which one?
For the last Gran Turismo on PS3.
Yeah, it was very. It's
used
racing
as an actual
simulator.
It really is. It really is.
It was way better than what's that other game? Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. That's more cartoonish, I guess, with chasing and stuff. Forza, though, I guess would be the equivalent as far as. That's the one that you could design all your cars. I'd spend more time painting my car than driving.
Exactly.
Oh man, my cars were badass.
And it was definitely a very simulated game, very hard. You had to spend a lot of time like driving. It was very sensitive, and that's why I didn't like it.
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah, well, it's one of those that you sit down and it's not a game you could play for like 3 hours. It's like, okay, I'm going to do a couple of races.
Yeah, exactly.
Because after that, you're like, well, especially with I'm telling you, my arms will get sore because you got to hold on to that wheel with two.
Did it have like vibration?
Oh yeah, it's got the feedback and the vibration when you're doing those dirt races there.
Oh man. See, that's what I liked about fun. Those games is the rally games.
Yeah.
That I would play just for the rally game.
And actually, the go-kart mode was badass.
Oh, I never played go-kart mode.
On the last one, they had these go-karts that could go about 100 miles. I don't know if it was 100 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, let's say. And you were fucking whizzing down the course in this little go-kart, and the control was so awesome on it. Really fun.
Wow.
Yeah, who would have thought? Go-karting.
So it's crazy.
Real go-karting's not even that fun. It's more fun.
I've been go-karting. If I've gone go-karting 5 times in my lifetime, maybe more. No, not that much. Like real go-karts?
Yeah,
like
maybe
real, like
2-3 times, I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
Man.
I just thought of an idea, though.
Go ahead.
And if you want to invest with me, let's combine go-karting and paintball. You know how they're always side by side usually. Combine both of them. It'd be like Twisted Metal on go-karts. Shooting people.
Drive-by go-kart.
Yeah. You got to shoot people with go-karts as you're driving by them. Why not? Where's the harm in that?
Then you have to stop playing though if you get shot.
No, it's just like to distract you so that you can crash into the tires, and that's how you pass your competition, right?
Okay, so you're still racing.
Yeah, it's like Mario, or you know what? Let's go Mario Kart styles.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
You could have like banana paint bombs.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and just really let's take go-karting to the next level, please.
I don't think it's that popular though. You think?
Well, we're gonna make it popular. I'm gonna work on it.
Let's bring it back.
You gotta think outside the box.
I think there's some pretty bad go-karts out there if you think like powerful and really fast.
Oh yeah, like if you want to spend some money, you could. I know there was one in Quebec City. I was tempted to go with my brother and his girlfriend, but it was a little pricey. But they said their go-karts went up 65 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
So that's kind of fun. You start to get things start to get a little interesting.
65. Wow, that's.
You're not driving a lawnmower engine anymore.
No.
Lawnmower on 4 wheels.
You got to be careful.
Yep.
You got to wear the helmets and everything.
Well, yeah, that's it. And and obviously you're paying big money if you want to use those ones.
Yeah.
$80 for half an hour is fun. I don't know.
Man.
I'm a golfer, and that's expensive for me. Imagine so no.
Jesus, yeah, I'm not. I don't remember the last time I went go-karting, and like I said, if I've gone 5 times in my lifetime, it's probably like crappy go-karts like that go like 20.
Smash into the tires.
You wipe out and you're like, fuck, somebody has to come and push you out.
Yeah, you gotta get pushed out.
Or Tony Danza style. Remember they had this video? Tony Danza was racing.
Yes.
And he flipped on his head.
Yeah, who was he racing against in that video? I don't know if it was a Jimmy Kimmel or something. One of those. I don't know who.
Fuck, I remember Tony Danza. You
Google.
gotta check it out.
He flipped right over. He got way too aggressive.
He
took it way too seriously.
I saw there's this new movie that's coming out. It's called Don John. You see the preview?
Yeah, with
he's in it. Tony Danza.
Is he really?
He plays the father of the main character.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like typical Italian. Like they're sitting around the table and they're wearing like wife beaters and it's
wearing the gold
fucking
chain,
hilarious.
the gold chain with the big cross, or the The Capricorn horn.
Oh my god, I used to love Tony Danza. He Who's the Boss was one of my favorite like TV series when I was a kid. I used to watch.
Really? One of your favorites? Yeah.
I used to watch. I used to watch a lot of TV when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've watched the Family Matters.
It was the babysitter of the '80s.
Fuck
our
yeah,
television sets.
Full House. I've seen every episode.
Full House. Yeah.
Family Matters. I think I don't remember how it ended. Towards the end, I remember it was like
Laura finally falls in love with Urkel.
Yeah, but it was more Stephane, or is it?
No, he went back to being Urkel.
See that
she found out that she loved Urkel for who he was, beyond.
I think I remember
the superficiality
that,
of. Oh, there we go. Too late. We're podcasting, baby. Yeah, she realized that within Stephane was Urkel, and that's who she loved.
I remember those. I remember I used to watch Growing Pains. I used to watch Full House,
Family Matters,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Obviously, I've seen every episode.
Step by Step. Remember that one came a bit later.
Yeah,
that was also part of the TGIF lineup.
Yeah,
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
That was TGIF.
That was TGIF.
I remember watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper later. Yeah. But it wasn't part of TGIF. For me was Full House, Family Matters, Step by Step for a while.
Yeah. Boy Meets World.
Remember for a little bit. Yeah.
Perfect Strangers, I think, was on the first TGIF. Remember that one with Balky?
Yeah.
Cousin Larry, don't be ridiculous. Funny stuff.
Yeah, and they don't make TV like that. Well, they might make TV like that anymore, but I don't think people... there was no internet back then. There was nothing. You'd get home, you watch TV. Yeah. That's what you had.
You look back though. I don't think I'd enjoy Perfect Strangers much if I watched it now.
I watched
shows are too funny and witty and smart now. Like that stuff is like canned humor,
Exactly. I watch it now. Like sometimes I'll have episodes of Full House or stuff like that. But I enjoy like Who's the Boss though. I'll watch it and I still like me and my girlfriend. Yeah. And we'll still laugh.
I have not watched an episode of that. Jesus.
There was we had Comedy Gold for free for a month. And we watched a lot of those shows. There was Who's the Boss, and it still holds up, jokes and stuff like that. But like Full House, very cheesy. I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, there was always a life lesson at the end of every episode.
Like it gets old really fast. You know what I mean? Like fuck, man.
Yeah, that was more for kids.
And more for kids. But I was a kid back then, so I
know. Well, that's it. You go by walking. You can't watch them now.
But every show had that was like that before.
Idiot, even as a kid, was I stupid to laugh at these jokes?
I'm assuming there was other shows that adults used to watch that we didn't really know about.
Yeah, that's true.
Like now that people watch, the Grey's Anatomy, and it's all like our shows now. The really good shows. The Breaking Bad, which is
well, that's it. We're not watching many sitcoms anymore, and if you are, it's more of the out there comedies like The League or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Those are like The Office, 30 Rock, shows that don't have the live studio audience,
And it's more like I call them like independent sitcoms.
Yeah,
like stuff that are like not on like NBC or ABC, but like on FX.
Or that's it. They're really in their own category.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Tony Danza, by the way, he crashed his car in a go-kart race with Rusty Wallace of NASCAR fame.
Of a NASCAR, so. But it was on a TV show of some sort. It was Monday,
it was probably for like
Monday Morning America or something.
Good Morning America, one of those things. Yeah. Dances down.
I saw a fucking preview. I don't know if remember this guy. Remember Mark Schultz?
Mark Schultz,
Dave Schultz. They were brothers, wrestlers, American Olympic wrestlers.
Okay.
Mark Schultz fought at UFC 9 against Gary
Goodrich.
Against Gary Goodrich.
Really? No, I don't remember the Schultz brothers.
He replaced, and anyway, they're making a movie about, I saw a preview yesterday. I spend a lot of time watching previews. Sometimes I'm bored on my lunch hour at work, and I always go and watch trailers.
Apple trailers?
Yeah. Well, I don't have a QuickTime at work, so what I do is I go on different Dark Horizons and .com, and they have all the trailers, or Trailer Addict. And I saw this preview yesterday of this fucking, what's it called? Google Foxcatcher?
Foxcatcher.
Steve Carell is in this movie with Channing Tatum.
Really?
Yeah. And Channing Tatum plays Mark Schultz, I think.
Okay.
Is it Fox? Yeah.
Steve Carell and Channing Tatum.
Yeah. He plays...
Followed brothers. There we go. Dave Schultz and Mark Schultz. 2 Olympic wrestlers.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, okay, but
Mark Ruffalo plays.
Okay, I was gonna say because Steve Carell is an Olympic wrestler.
No.
Don't know
Steve
if I'm buying
Carell
that.
plays. I didn't know much about these, so I obviously when I saw the trailer.
Hey, Dexter's in it.
Is he?
Anthony Michael Hall, right?
The fucking trailer looks amazing. It's creepy as fuck. Creepy as fuck. And I'm like, what the hell? Why is it like? Who is this guy? So I started reading. Wikipedia the information. Anyway. Steve Carell plays this fucking rich man called Dupont, last name. I don't remember the first
from the
name.
DuPont.
Yeah.
They make they make everything.
No, I don't think it's is it the Dupont family?
I don't know. Is it? I don't know. You just
anyway.
I know. I think
He,
Super Rich and DuPont. I think DuPont Industries.
And I don't really know what the story is. He was this rich guy that built this like gym at his ranch, and he got like Olympic wrestlers to go. Like he had like a private team that he would like. He was so obsessed with athletics and stuff like that. And
I think I know where you're going with this, but I'll let you finish.
And so he gets all these wrestlers to come train at his facility. I think they were getting them ready for the Olympics and stuff like that.
And he ended up killing one of them.
Yeah, he ended up killing one of the Schultz brother, which the Mark Ruffalo.
Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I read that on Listverse. That site I promoted last.
Oh yeah, you know I didn't check that out.
That story was in Listverse. See, Listverse makes me smart. I just remember things after the fact.
But the fucking
because it's all somewhere hidden in there. Because I read it so fast after smoking a joint. The information's there. I don't know when it's gonna come back out, but it'll find its way out eventually.
Just stores itself in there, and then when it's needed, it's needed. But holy fuck, man, this movie was supposed to come out late this year, like perfect timing for the Oscars. Mm-hmm. But apparently now it's been pushed back to 2014, which sucks because if it comes out within the first 6 months of 2000, John DuPont.
That's it. Yeah, I think he is from the DuPonts.
And the fucking, from what I saw in the trailer, Steve Carell plays this creepy looking dude when he makes it like fantastic.
So he's going dark in his next role.
Yeah, man.
Because you said Channing Tatum and Steve Carell. I was like, hey, that's going to be hilarious.
No, exactly. Steve Carell is normally in, crazy comedies and stuff like that. Or like,
well, he's done a few. He did Dan in Real Life, which was a comedy, but a little bit more dramatic.
Dan in Real Life. Is that where he
ends up falling for his brother's girlfriend, and he's like a single dad, and he's kind of like depressed, midlife
down
crisis.
On his luck.
Yeah.
And I saw his last movie with that British chick, Friend. What was it called? The End of the World?
I haven't seen that. Yeah, Friend for the End of the World, or something like that.
It's the End of the World, and they meet and they become like
lovers. A lot of those End of the World
friends.
movies. They came out this year.
Yeah,
a few of them.
I want to see that.
This Is the End is funny. If you haven't,
you
watched
saw
it,
I
watched it.
Is it the one with all the actors and they play?
Where
themselves?
they party at James Franco's house. They all play themselves, but different alternate versions of themselves.
Oh, yeah?
James Franco's a pretentious douche.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill's a clingy, kind of stalker gay dude.
He gets raped by the devil, no?
Yeah. And I don't know, the version I saw, I don't know, maybe it wasn't the director's cut, but it shows, it doesn't show it, but it hints towards it. Because I heard about that. I kind of got spoiled when I watched the James Franco roast.
I fucking watched that the other day. It was pretty fucking funny.
I've watched it 4 times. Dude.
Really?
Yeah, I make everybody watch it. Have you seen it yet? Okay, let's put it on. I don't care. I'll laugh again.
It was on, I think on the Friday, I went to Mike's house, and your brother was there. Mm-hmm. We were there for Lisa's birthday. And he spoke about it. There's a few people that spoke about it. And then that Sunday it was on the Comedy Network.
Oh, they played it. I
caught it.
Yeah,
I caught it like 5 minutes in. And that fucking, it was fucking hilarious.
Oh man, there was some good jokes.
What's the
Jonah Hill impressed me. I didn't think he would have been that funny.
Yeah.
His whole, oh, you're awesome, I like you, like Bill Hader's such an awesome dude, everyone was telling him leaving SNL was the worst idea he could ever. What does my man Bill do? Lands himself a T-Mobile commercial. Yeah. The fuck you T-Mobile money. Oh man, he had me laughing.
Bill Hader played, was it Mr. Hollywood?
Yeah, he did the president of Hollywood. That was great.
President Hollywood.
Yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. It was really good. I got tired of the roast. I remember watching those roasts, and after a while, it was like, okay, it's funny.
Yeah, well, they tried to milk it.
Fuck, man.
With some unnecessary roasts for the likes of Donald Trump and the Roseanne one. I didn't even watch most of it. I started watching it.
Really?
This was horrible.
I didn't even know they'd roast.
It's horrible.
So.
And the Donald Trump one, the best one about that was seeing the situation from the Jersey Shore go up and bomb. and literally get booed.
I remember that. I remember hearing about it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I YouTubed that one.
I don't know. It's not something I watch. I remember watching back in the day. What was that black dude from the Flavor of Love, the Flavor Flav.
Oh, Flavor Flav. Yeah, the Flavor Flav roast. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was some.
There's a few jokes that were
pretty decent jokes. I mean, the Shatner one was good. The Saget one wasn't bad.
Yeah,
the Charlie Sheen one was probably the best one.
Really? I haven't seen it.
You haven't?
No, I haven't. I don't watch the.
Yeah. I watch it. I love to laugh. I love stand-up comedy, and the roast is something that, I remember as a kid just watching the commercials. Remember they used to have the Dean Martin roasts? Yeah. And they used to show the commercials from. You could order them on video, and just watching the infomercial made me laugh.
Really?
And so yeah, it's cool to see the roast. I don't know anything that's stand-up comedy. I usually watch. I give it a chance. But yeah, these roasts have been fun, but. Some of them have been unnecessary, to say the least.
Jeff Ross is pretty funny.
That's what he does.
Yeah, he's there in every roast, no?
Yeah, pretty much. Now they bug him. That's it. He doesn't leave afterwards. They all go home. He stays and cleans up.
Yeah,
and sleeps in the dressing room until the next roast comes along.
I was wondering at first. I'm like, why is he wearing dreads in that for that James Franco one? And then I remember because of his last role.
Yeah. Have you seen that one, Spring Breakers?
No.
I'm curious to see it now that I've heard of it. Because it looks interesting.
I'm just curious for the role he plays and how badass he plays that role.
But he just seems like he's ripping off. You ever heard of Riff Raff, the rapper?
Riff Raff, nah.
He's buddies with Dirt Nasty, and now he's been hanging around with A$AP Rocky. He's done a track with Action Bronson. He's a white dude, looks exactly like that. It's got crazy braids. I'll show you a picture, and you can tell me if he doesn't look like him. But James Franco says he's kind of imitating another rapper and not Riff Raff, because I think there's a lawsuit involved.
Really?
Yep.
But in the movie, does he play a rapper or he plays a criminal?
He plays a rapper / criminal / producer kind of thing. Named Alien is his name. His movie.
In the movie, yeah.
In the movie. But
it made big things. It was a big thing because it had that
Here you go. Riff Raff is very upset with James Franco.
Yeah, he definitely looks exactly like...
But yeah, he's a really weird white dude who he's a pretty good rapper. He's kind of unique. He's kind of eclectic. I don't think he's everybody's cup of tea because he's kind of got that southern style.
Like what's that? Your brother introduced me to a white rapper. Is it
Machine Gun Kelly or Yellow Wolf?
Yellow Wolf.
Yellow Wolf. Yeah.
I'd listened to a few of his tracks. It's all right, but
I think he's a better skateboarder than rapper.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a bad rapper. I mean, he's not bad. No, he's good. He's talented. He's a talented rapper. It's just not really my thing.
There's only one white rapper I listen to. And
that's Eminem.
That's it. He's coming out with a new album.
Action Bronson. Aren't you an Action Bronson fan?
I like him, but after a while, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
I like his spoof videos. Like he had a video online about because he used to be a chef. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Well, he still is. I think. Well, I mean, I don't know.
He opened his own food truck.
Oh, nice.
That's what I saw. It was a Vice thing. They had a short 30-minute thing on Vice, and it was about him opening his thing. I like his music. It's really nice the way he flows, the way he raps, his lyrics. He's all lyrical. It's all about the lyrics, you know.
I mean, his lyrics sometimes. I mean, he jumps from like talking about hockey to wrestling to mixed martial arts to food. I mean, and sex and drugs. Those are his favorite subjects.
I saw him perform live at this festival in the States somewhere, and at the last song, he had the mic, and it's a cordless mic. Right?
He went into the crowd?
No, man, he just fucking left in the back, started walking in the parking lot where nobody was, everybody in the crowd, and he just kept singing.
He kept rapping, back to his car,
just walking. The guy's filming. He's just fucking. He doesn't give one fuck, and he just keeps walking where there's nobody. And the guy's like, what am I doing? Just fucking follow me. He walks down the stage, walks all in the back, just fucking. It's a tent, right? It's not a building. He gets out of the tent, then in the open air, he just starts walking in the parking lot towards his, I don't know, his camper or whatever he stays, right? And he's just rapping and rapping and rapping, and at the end he just drops the mic and he says, "Fuck this, I'm done." And then he just boom, he's gone. I'm like, Jesus.
I think that's kind of his thing, because when I went to see him in Montreal a few months back, that's his. Well, I don't know if it was the last track or towards the end. He rapped all the way, went out into the crowd. I mean, it wasn't a big hall, but he went out into the crowd, walked down to the bar at the end of the bar. Got himself a beer, a drink, walked back. All the while, he had some chick literally like clinging to him and grinding on him the whole time as he walked. But
and he was
huge.
rapping.
Yeah, and he was rapping the whole time, nonstop. But I saw a video on YouTube where he did like a Comedy Central. They had some live show at like some carnival thing. So they had like live acts while they were doing this carnival. It was sponsored by Comedy Central. I found it on YouTube. And it was basically nobody watching him. He had this big stage and nobody's there. So he said, fuck it. I'm going to bring my music to the crowd. I'm going to go find the people. So like you say, he just took the wireless mic, and just started walking to find people. And the camera guy followed him. There was nobody standing in front of the stage. Everyone's playing fucking games and hanging out in the back. Well, fuck it. I'm going to go to you guys. And that's what he did. So
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like his music and stuff, but he doesn't have a studio album. It's all mixtape.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know if you can find them in stores. I've never been able to find this, but they're studio albums. They're not mixtapes. Like you can order them online.
Yeah, you can order. Yeah,
like he releases like 2 a year.
His last one was Chandelier.
Rare Chandeliers. I think he's got he had another one right before too. But I mean, the best is one with Static Selector. I find is just an amazing album. And
that was his last one, no?
No, that one's a couple ago. That's and what's the other one? Blue Chips is
Blue Chips.
Blue Chips is good too.
Blue Chips is his first album, no?
I think the first one is the Hannibal Lecter one, I believe.
Yeah.
He's got so many, and they came out so quick between. That's why it's hard.
Yeah, he just came onto the scene. I remember a few years ago. Not even. Yeah. And it was like I said, it wasn't really like any like. I just found him online on YouTube. I think I heard somebody talk about him. And like, who's this guy?
That's it. I had a buddy who, my buddy Nick Fury, who DJs at the station in Kanawaki. And on his Facebook, he's always pimping out the artist that he's promoting for that week on his show or whatever. And he kept mentioning this Action Bronson. I said, that's kind of an interesting name for a rapper. Yeah. And then I saw it was a big fat bearded white dude.
Jesus.
And
exactly. He looks like.
I'm like, what does this guy sound like? And then I heard the Not Enough Words video, which is probably his highest budget real video.
Yeah.
Maybe his most mainstream track too.
Which one? Yeah.
And that was off the Well Done album with Static Selector, and that's when I started listening to him. And since then, I've just been hooked.
Did you ever hear about Mac Lethal?
Mac Lethal. The name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've heard anything from him.
He's a white rapper. But
he's a white dude?
Yeah, he's a white dude. So we talk. That's why I said we talk about white dudes.
Topic du jour: white rappers. Only on the Modern Maverick podcast.
Yeah, because we be white,
We be white, yo.
We are right, man. Fuck this shit. We white. Everybody talking like they're black. We white. We talk about white rappers.
Yeah, well, hey, I think we've come a long way. Us white people.
Does it really matter though?
I think we can talk about rap now and be taken seriously.
Well, fuck, man. Like I grew up on that music. When I was a teenager, the Tupacs and the Biggies and the Wu-Tangs. And
we've been listening to those guys for almost 20 years now.
KRS-One.
I think we've got some experience and some knowledge.
Busta Rhymes and there's definitely knowledge.
And I'm sorry, I have better taste in rap music than some of my black friends do. So
yeah, you think?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but anybody who can. I'm going to see Drake. All right, I'm going to take my cousin Patrick. You're welcome forever. You owe me forever. Taking him to see Drake, and I know lots of dudes like, man, Drake's so much better than name whoever. Nas. Drake is better than Nas. Really?
Get the fuck out of here.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nas is probably one of the best rappers that.
Or the Watch the Throne album. To hear people say that Kanye stole Jay-Z's spotlight on Watch the Throne. I'm sorry, but every time I heard fucking Kanye open his mouth on that album, I want to fucking punch my fucking CD player. I mean, maybe not that bad. He's got some good tracks. I mean, Kanye's not as horrible. I'm not a big. I heard a couple tracks. I'm just not a fan of Kanye, man. I just don't like him.
As a person, he's
a couple tracks I can deal with, but douche. See, douche comes to mind.
I like his music. It's kind of a tear with me. Like I like the way his beats and stuff.
I like his beats. I don't like his lyricism and his arrogance.
After a while,
he's
very arrogant. And he's definitely no Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z, you put a Jay-Z track, you're like, oh shit. Like his last album, you ever hear the last Jay-Z album?
Yeah.
Holy Grail?
Holy Grail, yeah. Magna Carta Holy Grail, yeah.
Why can't they just come out? Here's one thing I hate. When that fucking album came out, what was it called? Was it called Holy Grail? Was it called something else?
The Magna Carta, yeah.
Like Jesus
decide.
Christ. It's a fucking track. It's a fucking album. Just put one title. That's the fuck it is. When Wu-Tang came out, it was 36 Chambers. That's the fucking album.
Yep.
Or Wu-Tang Forever. Biggie, Live
After Death.
Ready
to Die,
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Like,
is it Holy Grail? And now you're giving it out for free if you buy the Galaxy S. Like, it's a marketing ploy. Just fucking put out go in the studio for fucking a day, spit out all your songs, 18, 20 songs, record, fucking sell the album, call it one thing and not 18 things.
Whatever. I mean, can you really
Jesus.
This guy was supposed to have retired how many albums ago anyway? You know, I don't think we can really question anything he does seriously because
that's all... like fighters that retire. Do you remember talk about this? I was watching Bellator. It was online. It was on Spike TV yesterday. They had an event. They always have free events. Yeah. Remember Marcus Davis?
Yeah.
Didn't
the
he
Irish hand
retire like 5 years ago?
Supposedly.
Well, he was fighting last night.
He's on Bellator?
He got knocked the fuck out.
Really?
He didn't get knocked the fuck out. He got caught and then he got choked out.
So he's gonna get. So maybe he'll retire now.
He had fucking more gray hair than I did.
Jesus.
And he's like 30. He's close to 40.
Well, he was a professional boxer before he even started in the UFC, so he already had.
Shut your mouth with this fucking professional boxer, because every time the
that's what Joe Rogan would tell me.
No. They said the same thing yesterday. Oh, he's got a professional boxer. 5 seconds later, straight punch right to the fucking nose, and he's on his ass defending a choke. Fuck you with this professional boxer.
I'm just saying he was old because he had been
this
fighting
guy's got
before
great.
it.
Fuck that.
I didn't say he was a good professional boxer.
I'm just. It's because I'm not you. It's because every time they say it on the air, it's like, oh, and it's true. He is. What he did.
So was Mickey Rourke, you know. So I mean,
look at his face now.
Anybody could be a professional boxer.
Have you ever seen Mickey Rourke's hands?
All you got to do is get paid $5 to fight, and you're a professional boxer, right?
Damn.
Mickey Rourke's hands.
Have you ever seen his hands? His nails?
No, never.
Oh my God, he has the. I don't know why I thought about that, Mickey Rourke. Because sometimes in the movies, I don't know if you see his hands. He's got the biggest fucking nail, like the end of his. He's just his whole face. Like, he's got so much plastic surgery. It's
and between that and the beatings he's taken in and outside the ring, I would assume
he was a pretty good boxer back in the day. That's
from what I've heard. Yeah, I've never actually seen him fight.
He retired and he came back. He went to acting and then he went cuckoo and then he went back to boxing,
as they all do.
And then after he got so much he got demolished. And then after that he went to plastic surgery. I think that's what happened. That's why his face was all fucked up.
And now he looks like Melanie Griffith.
Oh. No, you didn't. She did. Melanie Griffith. That's the Miss Antonio Banderas.
How do you
Puss
say?
in Boot.
Yes. Antonio Banderas.
Let's dance. Yeah, she's pretty horrible now.
She looks bad.
She was hot a long time. You know, who did I see the other day? And I was going, like Bruce Willis.
Mm-hmm.
That guy hasn't changed. The guy's not like really over 60.
Yeah, looking good.
And he still looks pretty much the same with no hair. He looks way better with no hair.
Mel Gibson, too, hasn't looked like he's had much plastic surgery. He looks natural.
Yeah.
Like Sean Connery did.
Bit chubby on the side.
He's buff enough for Expendables 3, dude.
What the fuck?
Have you not seen?
No.
We haven't talked about the Expendables 3 in a little while here.
They threw the kitchen sink at that movie. Dude, they're signing everybody on that movie.
Yeah, and I saw a picture of Mel Gibson ripped. I don't care. You can say what you want about him. I just care about him as an actor. I don't give a shit about his personal
Mel Gibson, yeah. He's a good
problems.
actor.
Everyone's got their issues.
Jews. I don't care.
Everyone's got their issues. Just make action movies. Make me laugh. Make me go, wow, and I'll get over it.
I mean, you got to give it up for Braveheart. I mean, that was one of the greatest performances
Lethal
of all
Weapon
time.
was awesome.
Lethal Weapon and is Jesus.
Your internet's slow here. Do you pay your bills?
Shut up, bro. It's your computer. My internet works fine.
Yeah, that's because I got all this shit open here for our draft. I don't want to close any windows. I'm afraid I'm going to lose everything. My scouting reports.
I'm going in blind tonight with my draft. I'm going to be like, who's left?
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea. Look at him.
Holy shit,
He's
man.
got the guns, folks.
For your listeners out there, if you just Google Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Google him. You can't really see
Can't
here.
see him,
That's why we got to hire a cameraman and be able to zoom in on us.
Okay. Yeah, because I have the budget for it.
Because we have the budget for that shit. We're drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon.
We're in our kitchen.
We're in a kitchen.
Filming in our kitchen. I got a budget for a cameraman. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, man. So he's buffed up now.
Holy fuck, though.
But he's old and grizzly. But I mean, that's his
you know
natural
what?
face.
If I looked that way at his age, I'd
be happy.
Is he gonna play a good guy or a bad guy in the Expendables?
I'm hoping they make him a really, really bad guy.
Like John,
and they call him the Jew hater.
You think? Like,
just fuck it. Just go all out. Milk all that controversy for all it's worth.
What'd you mean? A Jew hater? Mel Gibson is awesome.
Jean-Claude Van Damme died in the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not.
They tried
back.
to make him like I watched the last one a few weeks ago. It was on the Movie Network.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, listen. I'm all for the explosion and the silver. Listen, I'll be a Sylvester Stallone / Arnold / Willis
we're
slash
kids
all
who
these
watched
action
all these movies in
heroes.
the 80s, you know.
I'll be fans. I don't care if they make crappy movies after crap. I don't care if Arnold looks like he's 85 years old. He is 85 or 60 or whatever. And I would look at that. They even have a poster with him on it.
Apparently.
He looks like a good guy.
And
there.
Antonio Banderas. Okay, I got to check out the full cast.
Steven Seagal in it too?
I hope so.
Oh, man.
Hopefully he can lose a little bit of weight, though.
He's getting fat as fuck.
I'm having trouble defending him, man.
Defending you. If there's one action movie,
I've always loved Steven Seagal.
I never really been into any of his movies.
Really?
No. I was
Under Siege, one of my favorites.
I was a big Jean-Claude Van Damme when I was a kid. Bloodsport, and other
and others.
Really just Bloodsport.
Time, yeah, just a sudden death.
Sudden death,
or is it sudden death? Sudden impact. Which one with the Pittsburgh Penguins game there?
Yeah,
where the vice president's being is the target of.
What was that one where he has a twin brother?
That was double. Was that no?
Double Impact.
Double Impact.
So it was sudden death. So it was Double Impact
and sudden death. Yeah, sudden death because it was the whole play on the overtime. And what was the one he did with fucking the basketball player there? What's his name?
What?
Dude, Korea, come on. What's his name? Dude who's been out in North Korea. Dennis Rodman.
Oh, shit.
Double Team?
Yeah, Double Team.
Double Team. No idea who this is. The number looks familiar. You guys know who this number is?
Random number.
I love it. I lost all my phone numbers on my phone book. The names got erased.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Did you update your iOS to iOS 7?
No. My computer's backlogged and it's back on the old OS X. Anyway, let's get back to more interesting talk. Like the cast of The Expendables 3. Ooh, here we go. You ready for this? Apart from Statham, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Harrison Ford, Mila Jovovich.
Jesus, that's bad.
A hottie from the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson, Terry Crews is back. I don't know who Kellen Lutz is. Antonio Banderas, Wesley Snipes, Kelsey Grammer. I heard he's going to be a villain in the movie, actually.
He's probably the villain.
That could be cool.
I don't think Randy Couture is still in there.
Yeah, Randy Couture is still there with his weird name, Toll Road.
Dude, it's more like a nickname.
I still don't see... Ronda Rousey's going to be in it.
Yeah, she is. That's
Victor
true.
Ortiz.
Jesus
Who's Victor
Christ.
Ortiz? That sounds familiar. But still, I do not see Steven Seagal.
I think it's better. I think Steven Seagal. You disappointed my friend?
I am. I wanted to see him throw a kick. Or break your arm with my finger. That's my Steven Seagal impression.
He's a good martial artist.
And talk like this.
He sounds like he's drunk and all the time.
A little bit.
Yeah, like Marlon Brando.
I taught Anderson Silva to do a front kick.
Fuck that. He denied that.
He calls me sensei.
Anderson Silva denied that a few weeks ago.
Did he?
He said that he never really trained him.
No.
It was all bullshit.
It was all bullshit. It was all for show. It was all...
Yeah, like Steven Seagal is going to fucking teach the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah.
He might. But he's
taught him a few
He's a keto.
Yeah, which is stuff you can't do in the UFC anyway. You can't manipulate the
joints and stuff.
Joints, yeah.
Not only that, it's more of a hip throw and stuff like that too.
You're
busy
more curious
man.
about my phone than I am.
Huh?
You're more curious about my phone
when
than
I
I
see
am.
pop.
I recognize that number though. I don't know who it is though. It's driving me nuts. Oh wait, I think I know who it is now.
Okay. Didn't sound good. Yeah, Expendable 3. I'm always impressed by Hollywood, where like Expendable 3, they made Expendable 1, it made a shitload of movie. It wasn't. Listen, it's not gonna win an Oscar, no, obviously, but it made money. There's a niche.
It made money and probably made a shitload on DVD.
Of
well,
course.
I'd say rentals. Does that even exist anymore?
iTunes. Downloadables.
Netflix.
Expendable downloadables.
Yeah.
And and then they made the second one, and everybody was like, "Oh, I get it. Yeah. You gotta milk it." Now they're making a third one. Fuck, man! If it keeps making money, you keep making movies.
They're gonna keep making one until one of those guys actually dies on set.
You think?
Pretty sure.
Like The Crow. Has there been any other movie that a guy died on set?
Not that I know of.
That was pretty sad.
It was. I love that movie. It's still one of my favorite movies of all time.
The Crow?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a classic. I haven't seen it in a very long time.
Yeah, I try to rewatch it every once in a while. Just an old childhood favorite, those movies I owned on VHS.
Wow, VHS. There's a lot of movies like that. I remember watching when I was a kid, and I still somewhat like one that still holds up today as one of my favorite movies ever is the Terminator 2. It's the storyline,
Did you notice in Grand Theft Auto when you're driving the big rig and you have to go over into the fake LA River, just like in Terminator 2?
Yeah.
I was like, they got a T2 moment in here. Sweet.
Where he goes down.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you got to, you're chasing the guy. I just did the mission 2 days ago, I think.
The one with it's the electric car dies. That one?
No, electric car. No, it's when you got to chase the guy with the big rig because what is he doing?
Yeah, he was the producer of the show, and he was.
Oh yes. Sorry, Laszlo, the dude from the
TV show.
So you've got Talent or American
Something
Idol
like that,
parody that they do in the game. Yeah, and Laszlo, did you know? I don't know if you recognize the name. He was always like a DJ. Jerk off on all the old Grand Theft Autos. He was always one of the guys on the radio. He was a radio personality, and he was always very douchey.
They intertwine these things, right?
Yeah. I was like, hey, Leslie, I remember that name.
They and like, what Grand Theft Auto was it that we were in? Los Santos is Los Angeles. It's meant to be Los Angeles.
Yeah, San Andreas, California. Yeah.
San Andreas is
San Andreas is the state, and Los Santos is the city, as far as I've been able to figure it out.
I thought San Andreas was what's Las Vegas then?
I'm not sure now.
Where is that Trevor character?
Yeah.
Where is he from?
He's in California, but like he says he's a few hours away. He's in there's like 3 different areas. It's called Shady something, or I forget.
Yeah, but that area was in another Grand Theft Auto. The one where you're in Vegas.
Oh, might be, yeah. The one, that had a big map too, where you had Vegas, you had you had the LA.
Yeah, you could go into LA, and then you had like the desert area, which was the area where he's from.
That's where he's from. Yeah.
Yeah, they always happen to intertwine characters, or like I didn't realize that. Thanks for telling me, but yeah, he was on the radio or something, like the old characters. Like, because I remember, I think it was in the Grand Theft Auto 3. One of the which one was the one where it was basically Scarface?
That was Vice City.
Well, in Vice City, there's the lawyer. Remember?
Yeah, Vice City's the one that I played the least of, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was the lawyer in Vice City, which also appears in another game, older with no hair. I think it's in the last one.
Yes. Yeah, he was basically the Sean Penn in.
That's right.
In Scarface? No, it's not Scarface. What movie am I thinking of? What's the movie where Sean Penn's the lawyer?
For Christ's sakes.
Oh, the one with Benny Blanco says hi there, where John Leguizamo shoots him at the end of the movie.
At the train station, right?
Yeah. What the fuck movie is that?
What the fuck, man?
Jesus Christ, we're getting old. We're losing our memories.
Stop smoking weed, man.
They made a fucking remake of it, or they did like a fucking shitty prequel. Last couple years ago, I never bothered watching
P. Diddy.
it.
They had a prequel with
and P. Diddy was in it. Exactly.
That's how shitty a prequel we got. P.
What the fuck is it called? Jesus Christ, people. We're gonna edit this part out. We're gonna make it look like we know. Like we're much quicker.
Yeah, we're like cut.
Cuts. Yes, it was called. Man, Carlito's Way. Thank you. Jesus.
And then they had a prequel which called Carlito's Way is something.
The Way of Carlito. I don't know.
God damn. This is not a good
Carlito's Way, The Way of Carlito.
Before and after.
Yeah.
Carlito's Way. That was with Al Pacino.
Yeah, Al Pacino. Yeah, that's why I was thinking Star.
But that was
anyone who wants to argue whether Al Pacino or Robert De Niro is a better actor, just think about it. How many characters that Robert De Niro has played that you've confused with the other, and how many characters has Al Pacino played that you confuse with each other? I think we just proved the point right now. No?
A lot of people. What do you mean? A lot of people that Robert De Niro's role have been confused with Al Pacino.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying, well, maybe because just people just confused the two of them. But I'm saying, out of all the roles De Niro's played versus all the roles that Pacino's played, I think Pacino's characters can be more easily confused with each other because they're all kind of similar, and that he screams. whether he's the coach in American Any Given Sunday, or whether he's playing Scarface or Carlito.
So are you saying he's the best or the?
I'm saying De Niro's better.
Oh no, I don't agree with that.
Really, you think Pacino's better?
Pacino is the best actor.
See, that could have been our showdown. We haven't done the showdown in a couple of podcasts.
We haven't even talked about the last one.
What was the last one?
Raw versus Delirious.
Oh fuck! Well, what were the results?
Just thought about that.
Did you get any feedback?
Delirious,
eh?
What about 75 to 80%.
There you go. Well,
I got a few votes for Raw, which I would vote for Raw. I vote for Raw because I think it's the first one I saw. It's the first introduction that I got to Eddie Murphy as a stand-up comic.
Well, that's your fault.
Thank you. I remember me and my buddy going, hey, we got to go rent this on VHS. It's Eddie Murphy. I knew Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cops.
Yeah.
That was, and I was
back then,
early teen, so
48 hours.
And SNL, but I was too young to even know what SNL
that's it. Yeah,
was,
he was on SNL before we were born. Yeah.
And so we went to rent because Delirious wasn't available. I think Raw as market money. I think made more money because it was the second one.
Oh,
People
probably
saw Delirious, and then when he came out with Raw, he was more famous.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's true.
So I remember the video store had Raw. I don't think it had Delirious the first time we went, and
so the last guy who rented it probably never brought it back.
Dude. So we went. I remember the first time we rented it was you rented. Remember back in the day, you rented a VHS. It was 2 days, right? Mm-hmm. You like rented it on the Saturday, brought it back Sunday night.
Yeah,
I think it was.
24 hours. So, up until 6 p.m. the next day.
That's right, man. That first day we rented it, we must have watched it like 6 or 7 times, like nonstop. And I had never laughed. I had never seen a stand-up comic like this. I didn't even remember if I had seen any real stand-up comedy except for Just for Laugh. And back in the day when I was that age, I used to watch TV sometimes with my grandparents. I lived at my grandparents, so I'd watch Just for Laugh mostly in French, Juste pour rire.
Yeah.
And then so that was stand-up comedy for me. And I used to love it. I used to watch it like Juste pour rire or Just for Laugh. Sometimes I'd catch it in English, but it was mostly French. So I wasn't used to that. Eddie Murphy was the introduction to me to the whole like obscene swearing, and I was like, God. I had heard about the Richard Pryors, and I think at that time, but I never watched it. I never have access. I didn't have internet. I didn't have anything. I couldn't. I lived in a small town where I didn't really have access to all those videos. We were lucky we had Raw, I think, at the video store. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just remember going, oh my God, this is the funniest thing I have ever fucking seen in my life. Yeah. And we watched it and watched it. We brought it back, and then the next weekend we go and we rent it again, weekend after weekend after weekend. And then we saw Delirious, and by that time, it was just like I'd seen Raw so much, it was just my favorite. And I think that's why it's my favorite, because it had a big impact on then making me discover other like type of stand-up comedy. Like that fucking like, oh my God, it was just like, wow, I can't believe like you can fucking back, especially back in the 80s. Like if you think about it, I think it was more of a movie. They called it a movie. Yeah. You know, they recorded it was a movie. It was
pretty much a feature film, yeah.
But even in movies, you never saw that type of language or profanity.
No, well, I'm trying to think. You have me thinking, like, what are my earliest memories of stand-up comedy? And I could think of, the Just for Laughs episodes I would play every night. And I think more of sketch comedy.
It was all clean humor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. And I can think of my earliest memories of sketch comedy, watching, like, In Living Color, and then watching The Kids in the Hall, watching Saturday Night Live, SCTV. But stand-up,
that was different.
But even then, like when I watched Delirious, like it was already way past when it had been made, right?
Of course.
I was maybe 13 when I finally watched Delirious for the first time.
You saw Delirious first or Raw?
Delirious first.
See, I saw Raw first. I must have been, I was about 14.
Yeah, I was around that age, 13, 14 when we finally saw it.
So 94.
Yeah.
And it came out in 84?
Yeah, 84, something 86? Like that, 84.
So it had been out for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy by then was a washed out actor, like
he almost 94. Seriously.
What was he doing back
then? He was doing Beverly Hills Cop 3.
My point exactly.
And then his career died. And he did Vampire in Brooklyn. And those shitty movies. And Boomerang. Remember Boomerang?
God damn it.
Some hot chicks in Boomerang, though.
I hate the movies he does now because he's a good actor. He's a good comedy actor.
I just don't get it. Yeah, his career choices.
He said he does a lot of his movies for his kids now, so his kids can watch. That's why he does like so
he's got retarded children. With horrible taste in movies.
I saw his movie when I was flying back from Portugal. Or on the way there, on the way back, there was Dave. You ever see that?
Oh, no, I haven't watched it. No, I don't.
He's like an alien. God,
I don't watch any of his movies anymore.
It makes me think, how can they fucking put a budget behind a crappy movie? Who read the script and go, God damn, we're making this fucking movie? If you gotta, Dave, if you like, people out there know what I'm talking about. If you saw this movie, Dave, with Eddie Murphy, I mean, he plays aliens inside a fucking robotic human.
Yeah.
It's, oh my God. It's got that chick from, what's her name? She's in Austin Powers, American
Elizabeth
Woman.
Hurley?
No, the other one. The one in The Hangover.
Oh, Heather Graham.
Yeah.
I saw Hangover 3 the other day, actually.
And?
Better than the second one, I found.
You think?
Yeah, well, the second one I didn't like because it was a lot of rehash jokes from the first.
It's most of the rehash jokes. It's the same thing. They get drunk, and the third one is a bit different.
Third one's different. They switched it around a bit.
You can't have 3 hangovers.
And there was some good jokes. Zach Galifianakis was really good, actually, in the third. He's always been good, but he was almost like... just the fact that he was more the focus, I guess, of the third one. And his
it was definitely all about him.
Yeah, just the beginning, the opening of it, everything was really, really good. The whole... when they do the intervention. Yeah. Yep.
You're going to be there? And he starts crying. When he starts crying. Yeah. I definitely like I think I laughed more. But you know what? When the Hangover 2 comes on, that's the thing with those movies. I love the one first one. I love the first one so much that if it's the first one that comes on TV, if it's the second one, I'll watch it. I'll watch the second one. I'll even watch the second one. Because it's still
the characters, that we've grown to love over the course of 3 films.
Yeah, like I think they focus more on Zach's character in the third one and Mr. Chow, which definitely are the 2 funnious fucking characters. But I like Stu too, like with the glasses. I love him as an actor. I used to love like in the movies he makes. You know who cracks me up, and he's been making solid comedy movies, is Jason Bateman.
Oh yeah,
he is one of my favorite.
And he kind of like disappeared off the face of the earth for a
very
long time.
But he was,
and then he showed up in Dodgeball.
Yeah,
and it's true. Yeah, he was doing Arrested Development. It's true.
But after Dodgeball, though.
That was after. Yeah.
But even between Dodgeball and his next movie, he was nowhere.
That's it. I mean, Dodgeball was a
what
small
did he make
role
before Dodgeball.
I don't remember.
Was he making movies?
I can't. Since Teen Wolf 2, I can't remember. What has he done since then?
You just ruined him for me. Teen Wolf 2. God damn. Talking about Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox, his premiere of his show came out last week.
Yeah, is it a sitcom? Is it an entertainment variety hour thing? What is it?
It's a sitcom.
It is a sitcom.
Where he plays himself, I think.
Oh, he's playing himself. Okay, because it's called The Michael J. Fox Show.
I don't know if you've noticed lately in Hollywood and movies.
That's a new trend, eh?
Where actors play themselves.
Yeah. So we've gone from running out of ideas to just rehashing and doing remakes. And then we said, okay, or we did prequels, and then we did remakes, then we went back to prequels, then we did sequels to remakes, and now we're just having everybody play themselves. Because we really ran out of ideas, so fuck it. We're not even writing shit anymore. Just, what did you do today? That's what we're filming.
Yeah, exactly.
Write it down.
But you know what, though? I've always been a Michael J. Fox fan because one of my favorite movies of all time, and top 3, is Back to the Future.
Yeah.
The whole.
I thought you were going to say Doc Hollywood.
Fuck you. Back to the Future is the first Hollywood movie that I remember watching.
Really?
It's the first
big budget special effects.
No, I think it's the first movie that made me go, holy fuck, I love movies.
Yeah.
I remember watching it it came out in 85.
Yeah.
So I probably watched it. I was 6, 7. Yeah, like I'd say 86, 87, where I watched it. I was like, holy fuck, this is movies. I love movies. And then the second after that, then it came out with, in 92, Back to the Future 2 came out. At the same time, basically, as Terminator 2, I think, came out. It was a big year for me because I was like, these 2 movies were like, I remember Back to the Future 2 with the flying cars and shit. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was so much fun. The hoverboard, for me, was the coolest thing. Even if it was a pink Mattel hoverboard.
I think, they always say it wasn't as good. I think Back to the Future 1 still holds up as the grounds for the franchise, but the second one.
But the second was cool because you got that glimpse of the future for sure. It was awesome. God. And back then, I mean, think about it. Remember when everybody's vision of the future was we all we would all be wearing like aluminum foil suits.
What the fuck?
And everything was white. They got the white part right because everything is white when you think about it from the MacBooks and everything. White had kind of taken over a bit. I mean, it switched a bit now. But yeah, everyone was wearing aluminum foil. Like, watch a Stanley Kubrick movie. You're like, man, this guy was a genius, but his vision of the future, not so good.
What's that movie? What do you mean? Which movie you're talking about?
Just think about just think about Clockwork Orange, for example.
Is that based in the future?
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the near future, yeah.
Real? I didn't see that movie.
If you've never seen Clockwork Orange,
there's a lot of classic movies I've never seen.
You gotta watch. I wanted to. I have it on DVD.
Really?
Oh yeah,
But it's pretty brutal, that movie, no?
At today's standards, it's nothing.
Wow, fuck with today's
standards.
But
back then, yeah, it's a really, really, really well made movie. I remember we had to do a class presentation in CJEP. I was taking a lot of film classes.
Yeah.
Because I was a hardworking student. I like the movies. So I took, it was awesome. Film criticism, movies in the media or whatever.
It's like taking metal shop in high school.
Yeah, pretty much, Like, hey, look, I made a birdhouse, Mom. I'm going to Harvard. So, yeah, and we made
extra credits.
We watched it, yeah. And there was one guy who was in our group. We did it in a group. And there's a scene in Clockwork Orange. You haven't seen it, but you might have heard of the famous rape scene where he starts singing, and I'm singing in the rain while he's doing. So basically,
he's raping this chick?
While they break in, he terrorizes the old husband. It's like an old husband with a young wife. They break into the house with his gang. And, so they basically start stripping of her clothes. And, it's not rape. Like I said, today's standards, it's nothing, But still, it's pretty violent. It's pretty brutal. And he just starts singing, I'm singing in the rain. He starts tap dancing. And as he sings, he's kicking the guy in the gut. And, and the girl's screaming in the back. And the guys are chasing her and trying to rip off her dress. And he's just ad-libbing, I'm singing. And it was totally ad-libbed. He just decided to do it. And then the second he started doing it, Kubrick was like, yes, we're buying the rights for that song. And we're keeping the scene in. And while the scene is playing, because we had to show the movie for the whole class, one of the dudes in my group just starts laughing hysterically. Now, if he's a sociopath, if he's done anything crazy since then, I don't know. As good it is as a movie, and as great as that scene is, I don't know if I want to start cracking up out loud in front of 30 other students and kind of scare them into thinking, this guy's a little nuts. This guy's a little nuts. But yeah, it's a classic scene. It's got some real... I guess issues that it kind of deals with, and it does it. That was like what, 80s, 70s, late 70s. Wow. Clockwork Orange, what, 77, 78?
Kubrick.
I'm trying to remember.
Is there like every movie that he's made is basically like a fucking like a cult classic?
Except for Eyes Wide Shut, that one he did with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, but that was later
like
on.
His last one.
That was his last one, yeah.
Like he made what was it?
But he's done Space Odyssey. He did The Shining, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. He's done Doctor Strangelove. Full Metal Jacket? No, that's not.
That was Oliver Stone.
That's Oliver. Fuck. Is it Oliver Stone? I'm trying to remember now off the top of my head. Or no, it is Stanley Kubrick. Sorry, yeah, Full Metal Jacket is Stanley Kubrick as well. You're right. You are correct.
Oliver Stone was Natural Born Killer.
Natural Born Killers. I think he might have did Platoon.
Yes.
Did Oliver Stone do Platoon? I'll never forget the day in religion class in high school where our gym teacher was the substitute for the day, and our gym teacher was an ex-army guy, and of course has no knowledge on religion. He shot people for a living, and so he goes, "All right, kids, today we're going to watch the greatest movie ever made." And he puts in Platoon. So we watched Platoon in religion class, and he sat front row, and he was loving it. I think he even brought popcorn. Here we go. Clockwork Orange was 71, dude. Jesus. 71. I'm usually good with dates. I totally got that one wrong.
71. That's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago.
Who's the main actor in that movie?
It's Malcolm McDowell. He's here. You'll notice his face right away. He plays a villain in a lot of shitty movies now in his old age. He's an actor who should have. I don't know. He's done some good movies, but then he's done some really weird ones. He did Caligula. You ever watch Caligula?
No, I don't even know what that
That's
is.
like fucking porn for.
It's pretty
much porn. The story of Caligula. Yeah, they did. I don't know who directed it, but anyway, they spent a lot of money, and it was essentially just a big porn movie. Yeah, Malcolm McDowell.
Him. Yes.
He's old now, man.
He plays. I remember him from Orange County.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I love that movie. Orange County was great. Somebody's got to piss in his bottle.
What? Sorry, are we talking about movie?
Oh, you're thinking of the OC.
The OC. He's in the OC.
God, the OC. I thought you were thinking about the one with
Tom Hanks's
with
son?
Hanks's kid. Yeah. No, he's not in that one.
With Jack
No,
Black.
he's in the OC. Fuck, you know what? I did used to watch the OC. I just wasn't gonna mention it. But okay, now I don't feel so.
Now I feel bad for mentioning it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he was in the OC.
He was in something else too.
He was also in Entourage.
That's right.
He was.
That would have been a better.
He was Sloan. Yeah, he was Sloan's father. Yeah, that would have been a much better.
Actually, I don't even know he was in the OC now. He was not in the OC. He was in Entourage. I got mixed up. But now
no, it's true. No, the OC wasn't him. It was the old man who was in something else.
But you know what? I got it confused.
Yeah, you did. You did confuse two old British men.
And now people know that I watched the OC.
And now people know. Oh, fuck all for naught.
Please erase that from me.
Oh, here. Okay, let's go back to something cool and talk about Stanley Kubrick movies. All right, so yes, Eyes Wide Shut was the last one he made. Full Metal Jacket. Man, he went... 1987, he made Full Metal Jacket. Then it took 12 years for him to make another movie, and it turned out to be that fucking shit bomb that was Eyes Wide Shut. The Shining, Barry Lyndon I've never seen, but Clockwork Orange, Space Odyssey, awesome movies. Doctor Strangelove, amazing movie.
I've never seen any.
The Killing, Paths of Glory. He should have done a lot more movies. It's a shame.
Full Metal Jacket. Is he dead now?
Yeah, he died, about 10 years ago? He died in 1999. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. They don't make him like that anymore.
No. True genius. Everyone thinks he's British. He was actually born in the States, but then he moved to England. Everyone assumes he's British. Yeah, for him, I guess. At the time. Was, I guess more of, if you wanted to express yourself a little bit more as far as making movies and doing your own thing, I think you had a lot more leeway. More freedom, yeah. More freedom if you were making a movie in England than you were in the States, for sure.
I'm sure the laws, I'm sure it's still like that. I love watching, like,
Mind you, Clockwork Orange got banned in a lot of theaters when it came out.
Of course.
He had to deal with a lot of that.
Well, just for
but
the
he was able to make
itself.
the movie, no problem. Yeah, just that scene itself. Oof.
I love watching British movies. Like, I love the sense of it, like a Snatch. Snatch is probably one of my...
Everyone likes a good Snatch.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. And but anything,
British movies are great.
Like British actors, there's a few like Two Smoking Barrels.
Yes, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. Guy Ritchie, I think that was his first movie. Then he married Madonna and got lame.
No.
Wasn't his first?
He made. Well, he made Snatch first.
Yeah, no, Lock, Stock was first, was it not?
Yeah, that's right. Then he made Snatch. Which was still awesome. Then he married Madonna. Then he made
Swept Away.
Is it? Oh, sorry, Swept Away.
If he made Castaway, we'd be all right with him.
Rock and Rolla is not that bad. But
Rock and Rolla's not bad. Hey, he did Sherlock Holmes. I didn't realize that.
The first one.
He directed the first Sherlock Holmes.
And the second one.
And the second one. I did not know that. I didn't watch the Sherlock Holmes movies, though.
I watched the first one.
I just remember seeing a video, a trailer of it, and seeing Sherlock Holmes as a UFC cage fighter, apparently. And I said, this is not the Sherlock Holmes I remember with the pipe and the hat. Elementary, my dear Watson.
No. He's definitely more of a... He's a womanizer. He's Robert Downey Jr. He plays it just in Sherlock Holmes plays into the character of Robert
in Victorian
Downey Jr.
times.
Yeah.
That's it.
Womanizer and fun guy to be around.
Yeah, and he does a lot of drugs too, right?
There's
opium or something.
Like opium, which was totally legal.
Totally?
Of course. You had opium dens back then.
Oh, that's right. And that movie Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp?
Yeah, man.
Where he's smoking up in the...
You just go and get high on opiums. On opiates. Opiates? Which is heroin, basically.
I don't know. We say things wrong on this show every once in a while.
We fucking spit knowledge on this motherfucker. Here, the Modern Maverick is all about knowledge.
Knowledge, Sorry if we mispronounce a word, but
I haven't gotten one complaint.
Is what's important.
Haven't one complaint about anything.
No.
Oh,
that's good. Because I'm sure we could have potentially offended a couple
Either
people.
Nobody's listening or we're saying all the right things.
We've got a 0% complaint listen about.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No complaints, but you got 3 listeners.
Yeah, you got 3 listeners. At least we're batting 1,000.
God damn it, man. Yeah, I've been thinking about, I think we're down to 10 episodes and we got a steady stream of listeners, friends, and stuff like that.
That's good, yeah. Yeah, we've got a couple that have mentioned that are devout followers, which is awesome.
We should start thinking about how to bring it to the next level. Maybe.
I know. Well, I've been telling you, like, the last thing I want to do, and same thing when I started my radio career, you know, which hopefully I say career because I hope it's not over. I'd like to go back to it eventually. But it's, you don't want to impersonate somebody. No. You're influenced by certain personalities.
Of course.
But you don't want to emulate them to the extent that people say, oh, he's just trying to be Howard Stern, or he's just trying to be Terry DeMonte, or whoever the case may be. But I'm telling you, dude, and I'm telling all you guys out there, I remember you told me the big influence that got you wanting to do this podcast thing was watching Joe Rogan. Well, Jay and Dan, who used to be on TSN, who are now on Fox Sports 1, and they do their show Fox Sports Live every night. I wish we had that channel. These guys are hilarious. I have to YouTube them and check out the site.
They're on YouTube? All their podcasts?
All their podcasts are on YouTube. And you got to watch them, too. It's not just the audio. Watching them is hilarious. They've got visual. Both. They're hilarious. And like the last podcast, Jay did the first 10 minutes wearing a Darth Vader mask, you know, and just they talk
they're
about
hilarious
guys. And they're so knowledgeable about sports, but they'll just talk about anything, but just their chemistry and everything. You know, and I hope that, you know, we can reach that. And I think we are, in the fact that, like you said, we come in unprepared, no script.
Yeah, I got nothing written out today.
We just feed off each other. So I definitely don't want to start impersonating Jay Onrait or anything, because some people say he's already got a bit of Will Ferrell in him as far as his.
But you know what? It's not. I think it's not about impersonating anybody, but I think.
But man, I wish we could be as popular as they were.
There has to be, like, you have to take it from somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like me, when I fight or when I train, when I try to learn a move, I see somebody doing it right. I try to emulate that person. Okay. You know what I mean? I don't want to be copying anybody. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be Joe Rogan. I don't want to be so and so. And, you know, I mean, Joe Rogan's almost at 400 podcasts, and he's got millions of listeners.
That's it.
But was a stand-up comic. He was an actor. He was a fucking TV host way before he did podcasts.
Yeah.
We started doing podcasts with nobody knowing who we are. Yeah. So, it's interesting because I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast, like I do during the week all the time, and his last one, he was actually talking about how, you know, when he started, he's like, for the first 100 podcasts, like, we had no, and he was a known
and he had no listeners.
He had basically no listeners.
Wow.
You know, barely any listeners. And then he started taking it more seriously, you know, getting better mics and getting a better setup in a studio, and we started fucking from the start. We started with, you know, I invested about, you know, a few bucks into buying mics and a mixer board and knowing how to do this shit on GarageBand and with video camera.
And like you say, like we said, it's been 3 months, and I mean, I think you've come a long way in 3 months, man.
You know, I built a website, and I found out how to fucking put that shit on iTunes, which I had no clue, and I just figured it out because that's what I wanted. Yeah. So for now, I'll be honest, if we have 10 listeners, steady listeners, I'm happy with that. At least I have 10 people listening. Mm-hmm. One day it's going to unlock, and then I have a feeling, and it's just going to be like, boom, we're going to go from 10 to 100 to 100 to 1,000, and then it's just going to start rolling. Then you're going to start, man. Yeah, I think that's the effect, but there's definitely a chemistry, and like you said, we can feed off each other. We don't really have to be prepared. It's not, you know, but I have somewhat of a vision where I love doing this so much. Like, I think we should look in. One of my ideas is that sorry, I fucking get distracted by my phone when it vibrates. I'm like, who's calling me or whatever. One of the thing I would love to do is that I would like to, first off, down the road, I would love to be able to rent a spot and build a studio just for this, you know? Mm-hmm. And then after that, build like a community where I would not rent out the place, but I would have because I know other people that would be good at this, and that could have their own shows. Yeah. And then I could be like, listen, you want to be part of our community, you can go in, you have your 1 hour show, you can use our equipment and, you know, stuff like that, and we bring it in, you know what I mean? And then once in a while have intertwine with these people and have you know, you bring him on the podcast, you go on their podcast and stuff like that. But just have basically like a radio, not a radio show, but like a
station,
like a radio station.
Yeah.
But just podcast where you can do what the fuck you want, say whatever the fuck you want. There's no censorship. You can even do this thing. We're not doing it live. We're recording today and it'll be online tomorrow. Yeah. But you can do it live. I could fucking sign up on Ustream as we, you know, tonight, and we could do it live if we want. I just don't have the the budget for that. It's expensive.
Yeah.
And you not only that, but I would need a bigger or faster internet connection with more you know, data.
And who's to say anyone on a Sunday at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon is going to be able to listen to us live, you know? So, and this is when we have the time to record this because, you know, we do have jobs. Fuck.
But
oh, they suck.
Like, I mean, my goal is not to become a millionaire with this. My goal is to just do this because I like doing this and then grow from here, get better at it, get more comfortable so that when we do number 20, when I do number 50, when I do number 100, by then it's just like, you know, rolling with the punches. It's just like, let's do this. And then, you know, after a while, we're going to start repeating ourselves. It's always the same thing, but you always have to stay fresh. But you do have to it's like somebody that wants to be an actor but doesn't watch movies. How the fuck are you going to get better at your job when you're not trying to get better at your job, you know? Like I train like a maniac 5-6 times a week. I'm in the gym fucking 12 to 15 hours a week. And I watch fighting because I fucking want to get better and I pay attention. When I'm in the gym, I'm not training. I'm watching other people train. I'm watching my coaches train. I'm watching people. I'm learning. You know, when I'm sparring and I'm not in the ring, I'm outside. I'm watching the two guys sparring in the ring because I'm looking for stuff. You know, I want to learn, and I think it's the same thing with this. I listen to other podcasts. I listen to Joe Rogan. I listen to Joey Diaz. I listen to all these stand-up comedians that have their own podcasts, and I don't listen to them to emulate them, to copy them. I listen to them so that I'm like, it's like motivation / like inspired by these people. I was like, oh yeah, I see what he's doing here. I can maybe adapt it to my own thing. I don't think I sound like any of these guys when I talk. I just do my own thing, but it's, you know, so I think, I really hope that people listening to us don't think we sound like anybody out there, but
I don't think we do.
I think we have our own style and we have our own chemistry, and that's never going to change.
Well, that's it. And I mean, I've kind of developed. My problem is, you know, kind of developing a personality when I was on air, because you do want to stand out,
of course,
and you don't want to sound like anybody else, obviously. But you know, I start to get that confidence and just be outspoken. And I was lucky enough to kind of have the liberty to say what I wanted to when I was on the radio. I worked at a smaller station. I wasn't owned by some big corporation. So if I felt like making a George Michael joke after playing a Wham song, I was able to, and nobody would say, hey, you know, watch what you say.
Yeah.
But that outspoken kind of personality that I kind of became, I guess, over the course of 3 years, kind of sometimes comes out amongst my friends and people or coworkers. And sometimes people confuse like that enthusiasm and just that outspokenness for like actual anger or frustration or whatever the case may be. It's like, whoa, no, I'm just sorry. I'm just into what I'm talking about. I'm not upset or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of.
But it's the same way for me. Like sometimes I'll say something or start talking about a certain subject at work, and I get that look like, oh shit, like I didn't. Either they're surprised that I'm making that type of comment and that I'm that open. Mm-hmm. But holy fuck, when I'm here at home or when I'm on the podcast, there's no limits. There's the fucking shit that goes into my brain that I think about. If I spewed everything that went out, dude, I'd be a horrible person. A horrible person. But I don't have any, there's no, I don't have shame in anything. So when I talk or if I think about something and I want to say it, I fucking say it.
And that's how I've become mostly in my everyday life.
Yeah, me too.
Some people, it scares people.
It fucking scares. The people are
honesty scares people.
No, you know what it is? It's because I think a lot of people would love to be as honest. And sometimes when I am 100% honest towards somebody or towards a certain subject, people are like, oh, and they're like either surprised that I would just bluntly say it out loud around those people. Mm-hmm. And then they're caught off guard, like, oh my God, like, look at him, or why is he saying that? Well, it's because that's how I fucking think. That's what I think. You know, like, it could be about anything. Mm-hmm. It could be that's my opinion. And sometimes I'll tell the truth about like I don't know what the subject is or whatever, but if there's something that, you know, it's typical, and I'll say, no, all guys are like that. Fuck that. It's, you know, or we all do this. Mm-hmm. And but people hide behind the truth, like, oh no, you know, my boyfriend is not like, no, fuck that. He is. Yeah. And sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they're used to just doing their own thing, following everybody and just going with the tide when, fuck, man, like, you have to be 100% honest with everything that's out there. Like, if I feel a certain way, I'm going to say it. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Why should I have to hide behind a facade just because I'm in public, just because I'm around people? I'm going to change my opinion on something so I don't offend you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. If I offend you, that's your prerogative. That's your problem. That's my opinion on this subject. If you don't like it, then what's your opinion? Yeah. I don't get upset at your opinion.
No.
You know, I fucking laugh at a good rape joke. And guess what? I think it's fucking funny. Live with it. You don't think it's funny? You think it's offensive? Well, guess what? I understand your point of view, but
rape's touchy though.
Huh?
Rape's kind of
whatever the case may be. I've laughed at 1,000 rape jokes, and you know what I mean. It's just there's just different things like that. Like it just like that's who I am. That's what I choose to say or do, and whatever, you know. And I just find that people sometimes they'll say certain things, or they'll stop themselves from saying certain things just because of the people that are around them. They don't want to offend people. And I'm like, well, fuck, man. You're not being real to yourself if you're just censoring yourself.
I know. If you want to sugarcoat and pretend that, you know, that's it, censor yourself just
and
to please the masses, and you'll never get your point across. And
it's a big thing with my kid. It's the same thing. I sometimes don't sugarcoat things around my kid because I don't want him to be fucking padded for the rest of his life. Like, he goes out there in real life and then he hears somebody talk about something and he's like, oh my God. No. If he heard it there, he probably heard it here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are surprised when they hear me talk to my 4.5-year-old son. I talk to my 4.5-year-old son like I'm talking to you. I talk to my son like I talk to my best friend. It's a conversation, and my son agrees with it, and my son conversates that way, you know.
Yeah.
Well, not him more, but me, you know, and he accepts it and he understands me that way. But I don't sugarcoat anything around him, and I try to. And I know he's only 4.5.
No, some people, you know, they talk to their kids like they're pets.
Holy fuck!
You know?
You do baby talk to your kids when he's 4-year-old?
Yeah,
like, get the fuck out of here!
No.
There's nothing I hate more than people that baby. I've never baby talked to my son, even when he was fucking a baby.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, that came out wrong. When he was a fucking baby, not fucking a baby. But you know what I mean? I never did the baby talk because even at this age, I'm not like, oh, come here. I'm like, listen, this is fucking life. You're going to have to toughen up a little bit. Listen, there's people that didn't have that when they grew up, and I think it's something that they might need.
Yeah.
I think it's going to help people mature faster, so they won't have to wait to me till I'm 32 and start maturing. Because I'm 32 years old and I'm just growing up, you know. So I went for a long time like just being a kid, you know.
I hear you.
Life's fucked up.
Still there.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
We done?
Time to pull the plug. Yeah.
Time to pull the plug
before I start getting harassing text messages. Where
424.
the fuck are you?
So that's it. Episode 10 is done with. Check out our website, www.maverick.net.
Modern Maverick.
Modernmaverick.net. Holy fuck, my brain is shot. I trained so hard this week. I'm just exhausted.
Punched in the head a couple too many times.
www.modernmaverick.net. Check me out on Twitter at Steph Paulin. Check out my boy here at J-Flynn MTL on Twitter.
Yeah.
And
don't make much use of my
Facebook.com. Huh?
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook.com.
Most of my funny stuff shows up on my Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm just too lazy to go on Twitter.
I use Twitter way more now.
Twitter, Flynn247 is on Facebook. Facebook.com/Flynn247.
Yeah.
All me.
24/7.
All the time, baby.
Can't get enough of you, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm Facebook.com/The Modern Maverick. Check us out. We're on iTunes. We legit. We big business. And we also on Podomatic.com, where you can also listen and download on that website. And we on YouTube. This video will be broadcast on YouTube.
We's everywhere, folks.
We's everywhere. We're trying to be everywhere, man.
All you got to do is look and you'll find us.
So hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the Modern Maverick podcast.
I had fun today. We laughed more than we usually do, I think.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was more
We're more loose.
More loose.
I was a bit tired at first. My brain, like, when I train too hard, sometimes I get that I'm super hyped up with adrenaline, and then when I just crash. So sometimes if I looked in a daze, I'm it's because I'm holy fuck.
He might have suffered a concussion this morning. We're not
trying to run. The hamster is dude, I'm taking a fucking break right now. Calm the shit down. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Modern Maverick podcast, and that's it.
That's it, folks.
See you next week. We out. Bye.
Iceberg Simpson. Iceberg Simpson. Iceberg Simpson. Butt naked sipping drink in my sauna. Only fuck with hoes who rock Dolce and Gabbana. What? Dolce and Gabbana. Dolce and Gabbana.